Hi good people, welcome. So many of you watch the majority of my content, and if you do, you know that I juggle quite a few things, and I'm able to remain pretty productive, right? I get videos out here every week, yet I do a lot of other things. So in work, in life, there has to be a serious balance for me. And as a result, over the years, I've built organization and productivity systems for myself that help me get things done. And in my last Q&A, I was asked to talk about how I get things done even when I don't want to. And that led to this video. I realized that I cannot share with you all that information in just a single video. And so today starts this series. So for anyone who's new here, I have a full-time job. I'm in management, and I have a full-time job, career position, and I also create content for YouTube and my blog. Right now I'm doing daily blog posts, and I put up 3 videos on YouTube a week on a normal month, most of the time, like almost all year. I miss maybe a handful throughout the year generally. I am also in a fellowship program. I started that in January, and I do consulting on the side for arts nonprofits in the area of development. And so I juggle quite a bit every week. Most of the time I get everything done that I need to, despite the fact that I don't get an expanded amount of time. Time is the finite thing, regardless of how much stuff I have to do. And I wanted to dedicate an entire video to this because regardless of all that I do, one really big thing in helping me get everything done is my daily to-do list. But it doesn't happen, just writing it down, like when I sit down. It is a conglomeration of many things into one list that I can focus on. And so today I want to talk about how to put together a good to-do list so you actually get what you need to done every day throughout the week, and you actually achieve things. You get what you need to done, and you don't feel bad about the things that you don't get done. So I want to start with the brain dump. This is supremely important. I think a lot of people pull their daily to-do list from their brain dump without going through a particular process that you need to do. So what is a brain dump? My brain dump is a list of everything I want to get done. It's in no particular order. Instead, it's a good way to capture everything in my mind. And I have a brain dump in a few places actually. So I keep this little Moleskine notebook here. I keep it with me all the time, put it in my purse when I leave the house, etc. And it captures whatever's on my brain so that I don't forget it, and it can make it to a to-do list. I also have a running to-do list on my computer in Evernote, because if I'm working on my computer, sometimes it's just easier to swipe right, left, swipe left, and add it to my to-do list. And I also have like just a running one on a white notepad in my office. And so the brain dump is just a place to get everything out of your head so you have a chance to make sure that you don't let anything fall through the cracks. Then on that brain dump, one really important step is to distinguish between tasks and projects. Tasks are things that you can get done one and done, right? You just do this one thing and you mark it off. A project has multiple steps, right? There are multiple tasks within the project. Tasks require a single action, right? I can put it on my daily to-do list. Once it's done, I could check it off and move on. I find if people put projects on their to-do list, it just moves from day to day, from week to week, without actually getting anything done, because you haven't done what is necessary to break down the project so that you can accomplish it every day. You want your to-do list to be filled with tasks, not projects. So what you have to do is keep your projects in a separate place than your to-do list. So I actually have a projects folder on my Evernote app on my computer, and that's where I break my projects down. Also in my goal setting planner, all of my goals are projects, right? And so there are action steps that those projects need to happen. Those action steps are the tasks, right? And so your to-do list needs to just be filled with tasks. So on your brain dump, you want to mark through the things that are projects and move them to a project space so that you can break them down into tasks and then move them onto a to-do list. So make sure the first thing you do on your brain dump is distinguish between projects and tasks. Then I take that brain dump, all of them, and I cull them into a weekly to-do list. The brain dump is too big. It's too consuming. It's too many disparate things in many places for your brain to process it. Instead, your brain will experience overwhelm. And if your brain is in overwhelm mode, things are going to fall through the cracks. Projects aren't going to get done. They're just going to get carried through from week to week. Instead, what I do is I take tasks from that brain dump as well as all of my projects task lists and put them on my weekly to-do list. These are just things that I'm going to get done this week. Tasks here. We're not talking about errands, right? We're not talking about the title of the project. We're talking about the specific tasks you're going to get done for that project that week. If you focus on just setting tasks that you know you want to do that week on your weekly to-do list, it allows your brain to let go of everything else, right? You can really focus in on doing what you need to that week well. You get to let go of the bigger picture and instead focus on just getting things done, marking things off your list, and getting that feeling of accomplishment. Now, before you make your daily to-do list, you need to take that weekly list and prioritize it. What you're going to do is put markings on that list to let you know their level of importance. So by the end of the week, you know that you have gotten the most important things done. And if anything hasn't been completed, it's something that won't cause you any stress, right? It's something you would have liked to have gotten done, but you didn't. So you'll move into the next week without anything falling through the cracks. So you're gonna break your weekly to-do list into 3 categories. You're gonna take either 3 different color highlighters or 1 pen with 3 different markings you're gonna use. So the first highlighter and the first marking you're going to use is for really immediate tasks. These are the things that when you work, when you go to tackle your to-do list, you gotta get these things done first. A lot of the time they're the things that need to happen at the beginning of the week as well. So take your first highlighter color or your first marking. I like to use an asterisk and mark the things or highlight the things that are immediate. Then you take either your second highlighter or an exclamation point, write an exclamation point, and you mark the things that are important. These are the tasks that you know need to get done, but they won't result in a negative consequence, right? Things won't fall through the cracks. It's just inconvenient. You know that these tasks have to get done this week. Regardless of the day, they have to get done this week. Those are important tasks. And then you're going to take your third highlighter or you're going to put a dot by the things that are trivial. These are important tasks. Things that are important to you, like doing laundry, but they can be moved to the next day. They're not something that if they don't happen, that they won't inconvenience you or things won't fall through the cracks. Nothing really will happen. There is no negative consequence. It's just this is something you really want to get done, right? You want to do the laundry or you want to clean your bathroom, but the world is not going to end. Your life is not going to end if you don't do it that day. So those are more trivial things. That may be an errand, right? That may be going to the grocery store. But these are things that are more trivial in your life. Once you have done that, you are now ready to create your daily to-do list with just things that you're going to accomplish that day. This is the clarity you need to create to-do lists that you can do when you're busy or when you really just don't feel like working. On those days when I don't want to work, I'm focusing solely on the immediate tasks, the things that need to get done. And once those are done, I clock out, I check out, I'm done for the day. However, on the days that I'm really motivated, I can be like, okay, I'm going to get immediate tasks done. Once they're done, some important tasks. I can even get to these trivial tasks, right? Because you're feeling just really motivated. You really want to get stuff done. And you have the clarity about what needs to get done. So you can make a to-do list that really reflects that. I want to give you a word of caution. One of the biggest mistakes I see when people create to-do lists is they put too many tasks on a day. I know in any day, I cannot get more than 3 really important tasks done. It's just too much to try to get the really immediate tasks, that whole list done in a day. It's usually just stuff that if I avoid it is going to cause me a lot of anxiety, or they're just really big tasks, right? That's why they're immediate. And so I put no more than 3 immediate tasks on my list a day. And over time, I've also learned that I can't do more than like 7 or 8 things in a day. It's just like not possible. Something is going to go from one list to another if I make a list of 12 things, 12 tasks to get done. It's not going to happen. And so you need to figure out where your threshold is. How many tasks can you really get done in a day? And that's going to take time for you to figure out. But if you create a to-do list like this, one that is prioritized, that really has things that you can actually accomplish, that aren't projects, but they are tasks, you'll start to notice your own patterns. You'll start to notice what you can and cannot get done. Getting super clear about what you need to get done does lead to an increase in productivity. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it in other people I manage and help them figure this out. It does lead to an increase in productivity, but it doesn't mean that you have to fill your space because you are more productive. I am a big proponent of allowing yourself to enjoy that space. Don't be a workaholic. Once you get your tasks done, you have now opened up time for you to enjoy your life, to take care of your mental health. So do so. Don't just pile on more and more tasks. Take care of yourself. In the US, we are very much encouraged to be workaholics, to the point where we have a skewed viewpoint of what a workaholic is. People really don't think when they're working from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. that they're workaholics. They're just grinding. But actually, you're probably stressing your body out. That is workaholic syndrome. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and really giving your mind and body a rest will result in a better use of your time, will result in you giving more energy into what you do accomplish and getting a deeper result. So I hope this was helpful. I really wanted to start here because this is like one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, and then they have these long to-do lists that move from day to day that just leads to avoidance in the end. So in the comments below, let me know, are you a master at productivity? Are your to-do lists already where they need to be? Let me know your best tips and tricks. Otherwise, let me know if any of this helped you out. I'd really like to know. And until next time, be well, be safe, and find a bit of joy in every day. Bye!